Hello and welcome to a mod spotlight with me, CosmicNite. Okay, so I've just downloaded and paid for the JCB DLC from Giant. So I'm just going to run through all the bits and pieces that we get with it. So you get two tractors, the Fastrac 3230 XTRA, Fastrac 8310, the front loader 435S, the TM 320S, the skid steer 260, and these implements are just for the skid steer. You've got a little universal bucket, bale spike, pallet fork, manure fork, log fork, and stump grinder. Pricing wise, they don't look too bad. If we look at the competition in a minute, so you've got this Fastrac, 230 horsepower for about 190,000. If we have a look at, I think it's probably the Lamborghini's probably about the closest. This is slightly less horsepower, and it's slightly more expensive. And then the other tractor, this is 320. I think the other one's 310, and that's just a fraction over $250,000. But that one's just a fraction under. So really, they're not bad value for money. They're a little bit cheaper for the same sort of horsepower. And performance-wise, the Fastracs are a little bit quicker than the in-game tractors, so you get a bit more road speed and a little bit slightly better value for money. Then we look at the horsepower, and these don't really matter too much, to be honest. Really, what's important with the front loaders, how they handle and their boom reach. Really, that's the key points, and I'll show you them in a minute. But this is an unusual little thing, this skid steer. I think actually, out of all the pack, this is probably the one that interests me the most. So if we have a closer look at them, so we'll start with the skid steer. So basically, you get a little bucket. So I think in the Giant maps, the skid steer probably doesn't really have much use, to be honest. But I think on some of the modded maps, where everything's a lot tighter and you haven't really got room to manoeuvre, I think something like this would come in really handy, especially when you start using the bale spike and whatnot, just to get in and out the dairies on some of the modded maps. So first of all, we'll just jump in and have a look. I mean, because it's a Giant mod, you don't have to worry about clipping. You know, it's ever so tidy and ever so well put together. So we'll just have a quick look inside. I mean, it looks okay. It's not too bad. It's a mirror up there. You know, a bit of a funky fire extinguisher there. Looks like something out of Thunderbirds. So if we start this up, right? Yeah. So hasn't got any extension. So the arm comes up and down. Kind of got a little counterlever there, which is quite nice. So first thing we'll just try this stump grinder. So the controls are the same as any front loader. So we'll just turn that on, see it spin up. So movement, you obviously got up and down on the boom, and you got up and down there as well. There's no left and right. Oh, there is left and right. Yeah, you can move it left and right. There we go. So if we come over here, I've one I prepared earlier. Cut down this tree. Okay. And then, well, there you go. There we go. Take that down. Then that's pretty cool, actually. That would make some hard to reach places with the stump grinder on the back of the tractor. You know, it's probably going to make life a little bit easier, because this thing just turns really quickly. It's quite nice, actually. So the next thing we want to try, what I'd like to try anyway, is the log fork, because as we know, logging can be a little bit of a pain. So I just wondered how easy it is to pick up logs from the floor. So you can kind of get one log, That's not too bad, is it? So if you need to pick up one at a time. Oh, hasn't got a lot of rear weight on it. Bit of a seam. And it's not the highest thing in the world, but I think that's okay. That seemed to pick that up easy enough. As for everything else, well, you know, they're kind of self-explanatory. Again, you know, the manure fork there, that would be really handy on a mod map where everything's a bit tight, so you can load up your muck spreaders, you know, bits and pieces like that. You don't get anything for these. You have to use the in-game attachments. So while we were doing the front loaders, so we got, this is the next front loader, and basically it's the in competition, if you like, with the telehandler. I'm not sure about this one. I mean, it looks nice. We jump in and have a look, because what's really important with a telehandler really is its reach, and it hasn't got a great reach, to be honest. It goes up, but I'll show you a comparison with the other one. I mean, it does look nice. I mean, oh, and also, yeah, it's articulated. I thought I'd got away with articulated with the all steer of the in-game one. So unless you've got a steering wheel, it does make it a little bit twitching. So for me, the most important thing really is to reach. So if we kind of put these next to each other, we can get a good comparison. So they're about the same sort of length. This one's maybe a fraction longer, but you can quite clearly see that if we pull this forwards a little bit, so they're roughly in the same sort of position. You can actually see there's quite a lot more reach on the in-game one. Probably, you know, 2 or 3 bales maybe. You know, you can get on top of that. So personally, I probably wouldn't use this in a Let's Play. I do prefer the 4 steer of these. I think it's a lot nicer. But all in all, though, you know, it's a really nice mod. It looks, the modeling's beautiful. You know, it does look nice. And if you're a die-hard JCB fan, you know, it's gonna. I think it's pretty much gonna do everything you want it to do. It's got quite a nice engine note as well. It sort of has a little bit of a growl, which is quite nice. And it's just got the same hitch point as the in-game one as well, so I don't think you'll be restricted on some trailers you can tow. But so we've got the big front loader here. So this one's slightly better, I think. If we have a look, fair old exhaust on the back of that. So if we pull this out of the way. Again, beautiful modelling, another articulated front loader, but it's big, isn't it? It's really big, really nice inside. Yeah, pretty good modelling. I do quite like this. Plenty of mirrors everywhere, nice lights. I thought for a minute the dash lit up, but no, it doesn't. So again, we're just going to pair this to the in-game one. I think this is actually a bit quicker, and it's noticeably a lot bigger. As a just quite noticeably bigger. Get this up nice and close. So if we bring these up, see, this is probably, you know, got a few feet on the in-game one, probably a metre or so. So I think if I had the choice, I'd probably buy the JCB over this. And if we look at the price, that's 165,000. And then if we go over to the JCB, it's 190,000, so it's quite a bit more money, but a bit more powerful. But I think it would be worth the extra money just to have that extra bit of reach. And I think it's a bit quicker on the road as well. So all in all, I think they've done quite a good job with this. It's definitely an upgrade from the in-game version. Right, so next we'll have a quick look at these tractors. So we'll start off with a slightly smaller tractor. As we know, it's about the same sort of horsepower as the Lamborghini over there, and you get the little hiss of air from the air brakes. It's a little bit quicker. There's a little bit of a misconception that people have about these Fastracs, that they're all really quick, but it's actually only certain models have a road gearbox that let them do 50 miles an hour or more. So if I can bring the HUD up. So yeah, I mean, I think these are quite good value for money. They're not a massive upgrade. It's reasonably quick. Just go for a drive down here. This does about 43 miles an hour. Well, I think the Lamborghini does about 38, just a fraction less. But all in all, you know, it's a nice looking tractor. It sounds quite nice. Working speedo down there. Pretty much front and rear weights, you know. They do look unique, there's no denying that. They are a unique looking tractor. I have spent a little bit of time driving one of these in the real world, and they're okay. I do find the interior a little bit lackluster compared to some, but because you do spend quite long days sitting in these. But they're you know, they're quite a good engine really, which is the most important thing. They do pull quite well. Right, and then the last but not least, we've got the big 300 horsepower tractor here. It's got nice big heavy linkage on the back, which is always important. Room for a front weight. You know, and it's a nice looking tractor again. Big tyres on it. Interior, much the same. I've never driven anything like this. So let's start it up. Sounds okay. Yeah, that looks nice. Right. And if we just take this for top speed, I think it's much the same as the other one, about 43 miles an hour. Yep. So its nearest competitor really is New Holland. I'll just pop one up over here so you can get a comparison. But I think these are, you know, like I've said before, they're not a big step up, but they are a fraction, probably better value for money. You know, and actually, it's a little bit taller, isn't it, on the bonnet? But overall, you know, they're your closest competition, really. So, out of all the tractors and front loaders, I think the skid steer is going to be really handy on mod maps where everything's nice and tight, little roads. You know, I could definitely see myself using this. I think that'd be quite a lot of fun. This front loader, probably not. I don't see myself using this, to be fair. It hasn't really got a high enough reach. It's articulated, which always makes it, you know, an uncomfortable driving experience, especially on PC. This JCB, the big front loader, yeah, I'd definitely see myself using this. It's definitely an upgrade over the in-game one. I think it looks a bit nicer as well. Yeah, do I think it's worth the money? Probably not really. It's about $10 or €10, isn't it? I think I just paid about £8 for it. I don't think there's enough of an upgrade on some of these bits. Everything's kind of much the same as what's in game. Really, the only unique bit's the skid steer. And do I think this is worth $10? Well, no, not really, to be honest. Maybe if they had priced it the same as the last DLC, the IT runner, I think that might have been a bit more realistic. But anyway, all in all, you know, there we go. I hope that's been informative, and I certainly wouldn't. Well, what I'd probably do actually, I'd wait for a Steam sale. I wouldn't be in any rush for it, but I wanted to, you know, let you guys have a look and make your own minds up, really. But if you're a JCB fan, it's definitely worth the money because they are beautiful and they look Well, especially this one, because I have driven one of these. You know, it's just like driving the real thing. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.